We are back for the second segment of our interview with Christy Day from Southwest Airlines. Many of you know her as at Southwest Air on Twitter, which has over, at last count, 345,000 followers. That's a big audience. In this segment of the interview, we're going to be talking to Christy a little more about what her job specifically entails on a day-to-day basis at Southwest. So let's get started. Like I just said, why don't you tell us what your everyday duties and tasks are? You come in, what do you do?
Well, sometimes I'm running late, so I have to run right to a meeting, but I wake up at about 6, and first thing I do when I wake up is check Twitter and make sure, everything's kind of quiet, make sure nothing's really taking place, and, from there I get ready, I get into work around 9, and the cool thing is it really varies day by day based on what's going on at the company. So, I might head to meetings, I might do that, but whatever I do, this is with me all the time, checking Twitter, answering people's questions, and following up with them. So I'm pretty much always connected in some way, shape, or form. But I don't just tweet all day. And I think that's kind of a misconception that a lot of people have. They say, oh, I wish I had somebody dedicated to Twitter. Well, that's not all I do. I also do a lot of communication plans, a lot of video content, a lot of blogging. So it really varies based on what the day is. So, but Twittering is definitely probably 60% of what I do.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's just a day. I mean, describe your typical work week. I mean, traveling. How many hours a day do you work on a typical week? Those kinds of things.
Oh gosh. Well, I think the thing is my work never really leaves. I'm pretty much invested in work all the time. And some people might say that's kind of crazy and like I'm a loser, like no work-life balance. But, I really do love it. I love being connected. I love this company. And so I would say in a typical week, I probably put in, 60 hours, but it's hard to quantify just because it comes and goes. I'm definitely connected over the weekends too. So there's also a lot of travel. I do a lot of speaking, a lot of consulting with other companies. That's something that we like to do just because we're big fans of social media and we want everyone to be a part of it and everyone to be experiencing it the way we are. So I do a lot of public speaking, a lot of consulting, and traveling for company events as well. We always send out kind of field reporters to cover any kind of city opening, any kind of company milestone that may be happening out in the Southwest system.
So you think when a company is looking to hire someone to be a part of their social media team, that they should look for someone like you or me who is always attached to their phone, always checking emails, always available to clients and customers, just to make sure that no one ever feels forgotten or left out.
Exactly. I think, you said it right. I mean, there are certain people that this is part of their lifestyle is to be connected all the time. And, my boyfriend is probably the complete opposite end of me as far as lifestyles go. He's not very connected. So, I think you have to find that person that is very connected and wants to be. There are certain people that want to be communicators and want to be real social. So, I would say that would be the perfect person for the role. And then, of course, someone with social media experience and then public relations, customer relations knowledge, just that will help as well.
Yeah. Well, what tools are, I guess, essential to your sanity in your job? What are the more popular tools and maybe some that aren't as popular do you use every day to manage this massive audience?
Well, my lifelines, I'm not very fancy. I'm not very tech savvy. This is my first Skype, for example. It's kind of crazy. But I use TweetDeck to manage when I'm sitting at my desk. So I have different columns set up for different Southwest keywords. On my iPhone, I use Twitter Phone Pro. We're fancy. So that helps me manage my personal account as well as the Southwest account. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there are free tools that I've played with that have worked and some that haven't. I've used CodeTweet before when we've kind of played around with having other people responding to answers. Hootsuite, I've played with that a little. But really the ones I'm really comfortable with and use on a daily basis is TweetDeck and Twitter Phone.
Anything else as far as blogging that you use, like any of the other social networking websites for Facebook, Flickr, PhotoBucket, like where do you go to post your content?
Well, as a company, we're pretty very active in LinkedIn, Flickr, YouTube, Facebook. and our blog, and of course Twitter. And then our team is kind of divided into those different channels. So specifically, I work on our Facebook account and our Twitter account.
Explain maybe your nastiest interaction or worst experience that you've had, and then counter that with the best experience that you've had, and how you handled each one.
I think my worst experience, I can't think of just one. Well, let me preface this by saying I think for our account and specifically, it's much more of a task to manage the positive people and the really happy customers that we have that want to talk with us. That's more challenging than the real nasty people. But I would say that my nastiest interactions that really just get my skin to crawl is when people just kind of do like flyby commenting, like they're not following us, they don't really care about us, and they might fly by to say, Southwest, get me a free ticket to Houston, and it's like, now why would I do, I don't, I can't even get a full free ticket. Why would I do that for you? So those kind of make my skin crawl because they just seem kind of scammy and, there's no real interaction there. And the positive ones, there's a lot of them. And I think the ones that make me really happy are when I see them tweeting about our flight crews and their funny jokes. And, we have this one pilot that plays a harmonica when they're waiting at the gate. He'll play the harmonica over the loudspeaker. And I see people tweet about that all the time. And so I know it's this one pilot that really makes an impact on people. And I've yet to meet him. Hopefully, it's maybe a blog post in the future. But there's just a lot of really great positive things I see come in. One interesting case that I can speak to is people always ask, is it more important to have a lot of followers or is it more important to have good interactions with people with small followers? And I can honestly say I don't really look at how many followers anybody has. That's not really relevant to me. And my example is we did a photo contest where we would give you a topic and you had to be the first person to tweet us a flight attendant or you at waiting in line or you wearing a fanny pack. It was a whole week of photo hunts. And we had this one gal, she's in Midland, and she was real quick and tweeted us a picture of her and a flight attendant. She was actually at a gate and saw the tweet and sent it in. And she was from Midland, Texas. I think at the time she probably had like 40 followers. Again, I didn't look. She won. And she won 2 tickets and 2 nights in Vegas just for tweeting us that picture like that. So, she didn't win because she had a huge number of followers. She won because she was the first. And since then, our relationship with that one person has really developed. She now follows, all kinds of Southwest employees. And it's her interaction with us has really made a difference. Like I know right now, her husband's having heart surgery today. So it's just like that kind of interaction. You can't get that anywhere else. And it is so powerful to be, not a frontline employee, but also at the same time, kind of I am because I'm frontline talking to these people and trying to make a difference at least in how they perceive Southwest.
Well, now, what do you think is, if we're on the best and worst kick, what is the best part of your job and what is the worst part of your job?
The best part of my job is I could do it from anywhere. So I think unless I'm, I guess, in a cave somewhere in a foreign country, I don't know. But anywhere I can get cell phone service, I can pretty much work and get my job done. So that's kind of nice. The worst part of my job is that I can do it from anywhere. So it does follow me everywhere. And I think I've set up this expectation as being connected all the time. So that can suck sometimes. But again, it makes it awesome too.
Well, that is the end of our second segment. Christy Day, I want to thank you so much for Skyping with us today. Any parting words? Tell people where they can find you or Southwest Air if they have questions.
Okay, my personal handle is Christy, CHRISTI 5321, which, just a little secret, is my AOL screen name too from when I was like 15. So it stayed with me through the years, and then I'm on Southwest Air also. So either one of those places, I'm happy to answer questions, happy to chat and share information.
And just for everyone else's information, that's how I got a hold of Christy. Is I just, don't be afraid to ask. I just asked if she would do an interview with us, and she got right back to me. So it was.
And I said, "Yay, Skyping for the first time!"
I know, we just blew Oprah away.
Totally.
Thank you, Christy.
Thank you.